Now, these days, I don't spend lots of time looking at the news feeds, gathering lots of facts. You can look at some of my older shows where I may cover a story, but I may have 20 articles to go with that story. For those of you that used to watch my show Outside the Box when it aired on Portland Community Media. But I will address the situation in Syria, my feelings about it. And if you look online, you can find some of the reasons why they're targeting Syria. Their banking policies, their independent banking system, their anti-GMO stance, their proximity on the map in the Middle East. You can look at Syria being mentioned years ago as a country they were planning to take out for a variety of reasons. You can look at their natural resources. You can look at the pipeline stuff going on, not only in there, but also Iraq and Afghanistan. It's all very interesting, as well as the abundance of natural gas in that region. There's also some very beautiful people in Syria. So Syria is the number one topic, and it's interesting that Fox News, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, and Alex Jones was on Fox News the other day as well. How this is being brought out in the open on establishment media, that the so-called Assad chemical weapons attack is a false flag. It's out in the media. The establishment media is discussing this. The same establishment media, Fox News, that engaged in the satanic levels of propaganda that it had during, well, before, during, and after the invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq. Before, during, and after the 9/11 attacks. No, Fox News was there demonizing anyone that was asking questions about September 11th, 2001, the unanswered questions. By the way, there's a Time magazine article that is writing about the large amount of truthers that have gathered at Ground Zero this year. There still is a 9/11 truth movement raising questions about that day. Also, Ben Swan is, I believe he's now completely independent. But I'm not sure because I haven't followed his work. But he's no longer at the Cincinnati, Ohio affiliate. So Ben Swan is getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the reality of things and these false flags. Although he was great even before, even when he was with that Cincinnati, Ohio affiliate. So you see this great awareness of the truth about 9/11. And you see Fox News openly discussing that this could be a false flag. You know, Geraldo Rivera, that was bullhorned by Alex Jones, now having Alex Jones on. And this video, I'm not going to speculate as to whether all this is staged and just more opportunist behavior on AJ's part to get himself in the media and, doing whatever it is. I'm not even going to get into sociopaths this afternoon. But what I want to discuss is since 2007, when I had Leon Magant on the show, he shared with me his dream of China and Russia. Not his fantasy dream, a dream that he had when he was 10, and it became a recurring dream of China and Russia invading the United States. And for years, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, for 6 years, I've been warning people that in the post-2020 era towards 2025, we're looking at a staged occupation of the United States that I believe our own government will be an accomplice to, or that which controls our government. And so I don't think it's going to be Barack Obama when this event takes place. But when you see our own government openly lie to the world again, no evidence to back up the claims that Assad killed those people, or even that it was that number, or done with chemical weapons. At the same time, our own government sends chemical weapons to the opposition in Syria. It's all very sick. But what I see is a deliberate suicide move. See, others see something different. They see Obama trying to, dominate the Middle East, And that's a part of this. But it's not just Obama. And there's no bone in my body that would ever defend a piece of shit, a lying piece of shit like Obama. But those people that direct their hatred and their frustrations towards one puppet are just like the people that just believe Bush was behind everything and was the pure Antichrist at the time. This is a longer term plan. And I cannot tell you how horrifying it is to know how many women around the world are suffering so greatly and how many have been dishonored in some way, shape, or form, had their life disabled, disrupted, manipulated, assaulted because of foreign intervention, because of military boots on the ground, because of bombs dropping from the skies, because their husbands are being murdered, tortured, and in some cases, children tortured before their very parents. Some of you may remember the statements John Woo made, I believe that was his name, who was in the Bush administration talking about crushing children's testicles in front of their parents. I'm sure over the last decade you've read stories about U.S. troops gang raping Afghani and Iraqi women. You may also have heard about German troops in World War II gang raping all the women that they could between the ages of 8 and 80 in Germany, in particular Berlin. Maybe you've heard about the rape of Nanking, where Japan invaded Nanking, China, and after killing the men, they went to town on the women for weeks to months. There are many examples of this. And yet, are you even aware that this is a suicide mission on the part of the United States to usher in a new world order and destroy this country, to create such hatred of everyone in this country, including the women? Either you do or you do not believe in karma. But what I don't believe you have the ability to do is just say, well, this comes back to us, but this will not come back to us because this is too horrific. We're not going to look at that. But karma's real. Whatever you put out comes back. Whatever you think, you are, right? How many of you have heard people talk about the law of attraction? Something's very real, but you need to look at it holistically. Well, what is this country attracting? Don't tell me it's attracting utopia. Don't even try to tell me we're living self-sufficiently when the majority of the comments on my YouTube channel attack me for not living in the grid. People think I'm lost, I'm drifting. No, exactly, channel. Sideburns, you're sideburns. You know, it's borderline mentally retarded. And I don't mean to be cruel to anyone that may have been born with a mental retardation. Actually, it's not what I'm doing. Retarded as in slowed down, as in regressed, as in brain damaged from environmental impacts, mentally ill, that's a better word, spiritually sick, because I show my light, people want to strike that down. I show my strength living in the desert, people want to strike that down and tell me they don't approve. Did I at some point lead people on? I'm sorry. Did I lead you on to a point where you think I care what you think or that that's important? So we're addressing mental illness, spiritual sickness, and just a general disrespect for the women of the world. And there are so many ways this will be its own topic. In its own video, there are so many ways that I've seen women dishonored in this country and outside of this country. But this structure that we're living under is a super rapist dominant structure that's controlling the lives of women. And because it's on a self-destructive course, to usher in this world government, destroy the United States, the currency, the morale here, the military, the economy, industry, agriculture. I mean, genetically modified food, anything they want to just let out in the market is allowed out here in the United States. You can thank the FDA for even allowing cloned meat on the market. You look at Europe, it's a whole different scenario. They're not trying to completely contaminate their continent. But when you look at the suicide mission the United States is on, bombing country after country after country, no accountability for all these victims of war, it leaves you with a very sick feeling in your stomach. And it leaves you, if you are intuitive enough, very concerned about the future generations, the little young girls that have yet to be born in this country, that may be future sex slaves to some other super dark satanic empire later on in our future. There is way too much emphasis in the eyes of some people on everything shifting within our lifetimes, and all this negativity that's been built up for thousands of years being reversed, because we're going to be rescued by either the ascension energies that are coming in, or the light beings that will come and help us as the earth goes through its earth changes. I think that there's some truth in some of these beliefs, but people have taken what may be a little bit of truth and they've chosen to just sit back and go, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to speak out against the wars. I'm not going to stand up for other women or other men, little girls, little boys, old men, old women. I'm just going to worry about myself and my own personal cravings and attachments. I'm going to be a star in LA, in New York. It's all about me. It's all about me. Who needs family? You look at the mental illness that exists in this country, in this world. It is beyond my current ability to describe to you with English words. This is also why mentally ill people will attack people that step outside the grid, step outside the cage. Just because you're aware of the New World Order doesn't mean you're awake and you haven't been affected by the spiritual sickness around you. And so if you're truly on a path to free yourself, you've got to be honest with yourself. And you have to stop just looking outside of yourself, pointing at them. Is there a callousness in you that needs to be addressed towards either women, towards either men, towards white people, towards black people, towards Hispanics, or towards people with thick sideburns? Are you offended now? Are you going to freak out now? Are you going to freak out now? I have no shame in blocking entities, energies, attacking forces from my YouTube channel. And you know what's also interesting is I have an email, alex_answery@hotmail.com. How many times did anybody send me an email off of Facebook or YouTube? It's like they think they're awake, but they're actually just using the establishment's websites. They have their little digital revolution. It's... You don't have to take it personal, because I never mentioned any of you by name. I'm addressing a way of thinking. So this whole video is supposed to be about Syria, and I went here, here, up here, and around here. Minute and a half left. It's a suicide mission to destroy the United States. Massive apathy here in this country. There's a lot of people who don't even want to hear about it. They're just tired. They've heard about the Iraq War. They've heard about the Afghan War. They just want to believe that things are going to turn around. Ran 216. Ran 216. Is Mitt Romney going to be vice president? You fucking retarded mother. I mean, are you fucking ran 216? Ran 216. Oh, ran. It's a suicide mission. This country keeps bombing other countries. Other countries that said, wait a minute, stop. We're sending warships over there. This is a suicide mission. You need to turn around. And Obama keeps doing what he's doing to destroy the United States. And yet the people continue to fiddle in their cages, in their grids, telling other people that have escaped, you need to come back to the grid. You need to come back to a dense population center. We want to feed off your energy. We want to feed off your light. Why don't you do what we do? Why do you be so different? I will continue to be different. I will continue to live outside the cage, and I will continue to remind you that this is the end of the country as we know it, the way things are going. And I advise you to figure out what's really going on and what China and Russia are being prepared for, and the karma that does exist in this universe, and the need for us, and I'll talk about this more in a future video, to truly respect women and the feminine. If I had a nickel for every time a woman tried to crush the feminine in me, I would be a millionaire. But of course, we'll talk about that in a future video. So think about the larger picture, folks, with the situation in Syria.